In this lecture, we are going to have some general introduction to R in our studio, and we are going to discuss how R is different from other softwares available in the market for data analysis. And we are also going to discuss what are the comparative strength of this software in comparison to the other software that are available in the market. I'm not going to go into the longer history of this language, but I would just say that R for the first time was developed in 1991 in New Zealand by Ross Ehaka and Robert Gentleman. And the key strength of this platform is that it provides an interactive platform where entire world is contributing into the development of this language. If you compare it with other software, I would not name any software, but you can see that most of the data analysis softwares are developed by a certain company. Now, there is the creativity of that certain company behind that software, but R is using creativity of the entire world. Entire world is contributing into development of this language. I will just give an example that University of Harvard University might be developing their own packages for R. Universities in Australia are developing their own packages for R. And since it is an interactive platform, it is a free platform. So this platform is using the capability, the creativity of the entire world. The R functionalities are divided into packages. This is one another strength of R is that R functionalities are divided into packages. We have packages for different purposes. Suppose if we are interested in GIS-based analysis, we are interested in doing some analysis on maps, we will install GIS-based packages. If we are interested in time series data analysis, we will install time series data analysis package. And if we are interested in creating some beautiful graphs, there are very sophisticated packages for creating graphs. Now we don't need to install all those packages. We can install it according to our need. And the another strength of the R is that it has a very sophisticated graphic capability than any other software available in the market. Like I'll give an example of the Excel. Excel has its own uh, graphs, and it gives you very little strength, or a little control or modifying all those graphs. But R gives you more control or modifying all those graphs and creating graph according to your need. The last but not the least, the strength of the R is that it's free. It's free to contribute. You can contribute into R and you can improve. It's free to improve. It's free to use. It's free to share your development. I will give an example that, we had a project of UNICEF where we were supposed to clean the data on regular basis. Now, we had some certain steps involved to clean the data. And every time the data comes, we used to follow all those steps. R will facilitate you in avoiding such kind of work, such kind of repetitive work. What you can do is that you can develop some script, and every time the data comes, you will just run those scripts. Those steps involved in cleaning, you can convert them into an R script, and you will run that script, and you will avoid such kind of work again and again, such kind of repetitive work. The next thing is, suppose if somebody has done some analysis on certain econometric model, he has developed some script, and he has done that analysis for some country like India. And now if I'm interested in doing that analysis for China, now what I will do is that I will just take his scripts and will do some little modification into it, and will run that script, and my analysis will be completed. So my script can be used by somebody else. If suppose I'm doing some tasks over here in the class, I can share the entire codes with you people, and you can run those codes and complete your analysis with ease. Okay, now the question is, what can we do with R? The first thing is that you can obtain descriptive statistics. You can perform data sampling to select representative samples. You can visualize data. R has a very sophisticated capabilities to draw some beautiful graphs, and you can perform analysis based on relationship between various variables. You can perform hypothesis testing. You can create interactive dashboards. Now, those people who are data scientists and who are involved in data analysis understand what is the dashboard, where with a single click, you can change 25 graphs, 10 graphs, and tables. And we're going to discuss what are the dashboards. So you can create interactive dashboards with the help of R. You can perform GIS-based analysis. For that, you need previously some ArcGIS or softwares, but here you can just, with some coding, you can perform GIS-based analysis as well. You can do the predictive analytics, and we're going to discuss and we're going to do some predictive analytics in this course as well. And we're going to perform some predictive analytics for the COVID-19 data, uh, the recent COVID-19 data. We're going to perform some predictive analytics on the basis of that. And you can use R to recognize visual objects. Like suppose if you have a photo of a dog and you want to know which breed it is, you can just put some codes uh, on that photo, and the R is going to tell you that which breeds this dog belongs to. The question is how R works. There are three main things in understanding how R works. One is the base directory, and this is something that you install it for the first time. The base directory is something that contains some basic packages. You can perform basic statistic analysis with the base directory, and when we will be installing it, you will understand it well at that time. Then the next thing is the R packages. R packages, as I mentioned earlier, they are designed according to the nature of analysis. GIS has its own package. Visualization has its own package. Time series has its own package. RStudio facilitates you in writing codes. If you have experience coding, coding is a tough job. Sometimes you forget codes, and sometimes you need a software that suggests you what to write next. Now, this is what RStudio do. And the RStudio basically is the integrated development environment. And let me tell you that integrated development environment is something that facilitates those who are writing codes. And it maintains the history of your codes. If you are interested in knowing your history, what you have done, it facilitates you in writing codes. Now, there are two IDEs, integrated development environment. One is called Jupyter. This is the IDE that facilitates writing codes for R besides the other languages. It also supports other languages as well. But RStudio is an IDE that is developed specifically for R. So we are going to use an IDE RStudio in this course. This is easy, and it is specifically developed for this language. The next thing is that what are the facilitation provided by IDE? the RStudio. The RStudio will help you in highlighting, syntax highlighting. It will help you in auto-completing the code and suggestions. Suppose if you are writing something, it will tell you what to write next. It visualizes the data and objects and function in a workspace, and we are going to discuss that in detail. That it tells you what you have created. It shows you what you have created up till now. If you have created objects, if you're using functions, it tells you what you have done, what you have created. It shows you. It maintains the history of what you have done. I suppose you have done some analysis and you want to know what type of analysis, what steps you have followed. It maintains the entire history. And it divides your works into 4 panes to facilitate your analysis. If you will install the R software, it's very difficult to work with that R software, but RStudio is much more easy. Let me give the visual picture of the RStudio. RStudio is divided into 4 panes. This is the pane where you write codes, and this is the console where you get result for the codes. I suppose you have entered a code where you're supposed to multiply something. The results will be shown over here. This is the workspace, and the workspace will tell you the objects that you have created, the data sets that you're using presently, and we will understand all those things in detail when we will be doing it practically. This is something where the graph, this is will be showing over here. So it facilitates, by dividing the environment into 4 panes, it facilitates writing codes and getting results and looking at the history and the workspace that you have created. With this, I'm ending this lecture of general introduction to R, and in the next lecture we are going to learn how to install R and how to operate R.